Hi everyone, it's Natalie here. So this is a VR to the lovely Natalia, the Tarot Shrink. I just adore Natalia, and if you haven't seen her videos, I'll have a link to the one I'm replying to in the description. So this is supposed to be short, but it's been a very long day at work. So we'll see how short I can make this. So we've got 4 tarot decks to look at today in this tag. The first one is the financier deck. So my financier deck, the deck I use for business readings is in fact this one. It is the Shadowlands Tarot by Monica Bodirsky, and it is a lighthearted, gentle, straight-speaking deck that presents both sides very, very well, and I feel very clearly and succinctly to anything you might want to ask it. But it's really good because of that for business readings. And she's in, there's like little hidden symbols that are to do with the world, right? No pun intended. Finance, the way we think about things, that just helps me get my head in the right space when I'm thinking in terms of business or career. And I find that it works that way beautifully for querents as well. So that is my financier deck. Oh, wonderful. And they're just dark and funny, and it's just a genius deck. And I also happen to just love Monica anyway. So yeah, so that is my financier. My second deck, which is supposed to be the deck that we think of as the con artist, that was a little bit harder for me. And I'll tell you why. I don't really have a deck that cons or misleads me, but I do have decks that really challenge me and challenge what I think I know about the tarot, especially as it comes to interpreting it for myself. I'm struggling to focus because Henry is, oh my God, here we go. Oh my goodness, he came in here with that energy. He's really excited and has a lot of energy right now. Whew. At any rate, the deck I feel most challenged by in terms of it's hard for me to interpret, or it kind of leads me in directions I wouldn't have expected, and is most likely to trick me because I'll think I know something and then I realize, oh, look what you did there. You didn't really know that. You had something you needed to learn from that. And so I interpreted it one way, right? I projected onto it, but then found later on that what it meant was something totally different. Okay, that would be, oops, I'm so excited. I'm like gesticulating wildly back here. It is the New Earth Tarot by Kate Silver, and I forget the other creator because Kate is the one I follow on Instagram, which I'm very rarely on, but when I am, I adore Kate and I love following her posts. Yeah, I just learned something new every time. See, this is a 3 of Swords. Who knew? Who would think of that as a traditional 3 of Swords? So it does, yeah, I'll think, oh, I know where this is going to go, only to find that it's not going at all where I thought it would. Yeah, there's a 9 of Wands. That doesn't, it's not like a usual 9 of Wands, right? She has her own interpretations in here quite frequently. And yeah, it just, yeah, it challenges me. There we go, 3 of Wands, not where I would have thought to go with the 3 of Wands. And I can't therefore interpret it in a traditional way. So, I have the guidebook for help, and then I also have to, I just have to do the hard work. Like, this is actually not that hard, right? But when you're reading for yourself, it can be very hard, And I tend to use this one for myself for readings when I need that kind of challenge, or that sense of like, what am I really thinking about? There's one whole suit, the suit of, let's see, what is it? It's the suit of Pentacles is actually the suit of Mirrors in this deck, which I love as well, because again, what are we hoping to accomplish here? So that's the New Earth Tarot, and I've been called back to work with this deck a lot recently for myself. I thought maybe I'd be using it with clients, but not as much as I thought. The next one is a deck that's lustful, that attracts us because of its beauty, or its sensuality or something about it. So this one may come as a surprise to some of you, but not to others. It is a deck I keep around because of its sensuality and its beauty. It is the Luminous Void. And if a luminous void is not a vaginal reference, I don't know what is. So it is feminine. It is a rose petal soft. I love the watercolors. I love the gold gilding. I love the matte gild on the sides. I think maybe I said this already, but I do love the rose petal finish on this. Some people hate it and they feel that it destroys a deck because it makes it less shuffleable. I feel that it absolutely adds to its gorgeousness in terms of touching it. I love that this deck is open. It has a lot of negative space. It's very sensory. I get the sensory thing of, you know, touching a page with watercolor and water and paint. You know, it puts me back. I love this Nine of Discs. It puts me back in a place where I'm happy, you know, and it's one that I don't really use with queerants or clients much. I tend really to keep this one to myself. I don't want to have to explain this High Priestess. I just don't. But I completely freaking love her for being that bizarre and out there. So, yeah, I just love it so much. It's such a wonderful deck. So that is my lustful deck. Then, finally, oh, are we chewing on Mommy's box? That's Mama's box. Let's not chew this box. We're not going to chew it. Oh my gosh, he really tried, or he at least slobbered it. Okay, my outliers. I have two beautiful outlier decks that are crazy and wacky and strange, and I love them so much. It's hard to know where to begin. One of them was it's almost a lust deck, almost, because lust is what brought me to it. It is, how could I forget the name of it? It's the Yokai Yochi Tarot, and I love everything about it so much. It is a wacky outlier. It is, the finish on this deck is beyond words. I wish I had daylight right now, but I don't. Very long day. But it is a Shintoist deck, and so the images are of different beings from the Japanese Shinto religion and folklore, and they're just crazy, and I love them. It is like having it's like having an oracle deck combined with a tarot deck all at the same time, and in the most wonderful finish. In the, you know, it slides beautifully. You know, it's so chatty, and the subtlety within the images and the subtlety in the strokes with the brushes, all of it is very lustful. But it is ultimately an outlier, my friends. It is such an outlier, and I love it so much. So that's outlier deck number one. I'm cheating. Outlier deck number two. Some of you will know this one because when I was reading weekly last year, this was one I was so happy to work with. I have to sniff it. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It is the Hieronymous Bosch Tarot. It is almost an oracle deck and not really a tarot at all. It's that much of an outlier. It is a crazy, wacky deck with lots of things in butts. So there's one for you, Natalia. That's a fun one there. I just love it. I think Hieronymous Bosch was kind of ahead of his time in so many ways. And it is insane. It gives the most direct, straightforward, and ultimately medieval readings you can possibly imagine. And I love its voice. I love its clarity. I just adore everything about it. It's so, it's just a very honest deck. That is a Page of Coins thing to do, is it not? To shit your money away. We've all been known to do it. So, and then of course my favorite card in the majors, which is Ignorance. So yeah, it's oh, there we are. Who could forget the flower pusher? Who could forget? It's the Justice card. At any rate, yeah, it's just genius. So there we go. So those are my 4 decks. Thank you so, or well, 5 really, but you know, the 4 categories. So a huge thanks to Natalia once again for coming up with this one. I'm sure there will be more VRs because I have so many things I really want to share and do, and so little time for it. But little by little, isn't it? It's little by little. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, Natalia, for the fun. And I will talk to you all again soon. Bye.